This is the Yamaha FZ15 ABS, a small bike with a lot of style that catches attention wherever it goes. And in this video, you'll find out everything about it. Technical features, performance in the city and on the highway, top speed, fuel consumption, insurance costs, and of course, my honest opinion with the pros and cons. If you're new here, I'm Amanda Pagliari, and this is the most charming motorcycle channel in Brazil, and also the one that brings the most complete videos about motorcycles. If you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. After all, on this channel, there's a new video about motorcycles every week. In 2022, Yamaha surprised everyone and introduced the FZ15 ABS to our market to compete in the small premium segment, which was started by the DR160 from Haojue. Abroad, there was already an FZ15 being sold in the Indian market, but with some differences. For example, the headlight assembly is different. It also has a mudguard spoiler, anti-spray, and among other differences, it has a 13-liter tank, while the Brazilian version has a capacity of 11.9 liters. In fact, according to Yamaha, the design of this model is exclusive to Brazil and was developed with the team from Japan. The FZ15 is amazing. It doesn't even look like a 150cc motorcycle. This headlight assembly at the front is exclusive to Brazil and looks great. I like this front panel here. It gives a premium finish. The tank, guys, is muscular. In fact, this tank has the same system as the FZ15, meaning it's modular. There are two parts, and according to Yamaha, it brings more savings when it comes to replacing parts. If you fall and only damage one side, you don't need to replace the whole tank. You just need to replace the part that got damaged. Here at the front, look at the fender with two textures. Here on the side, in the color of the bike, very beautiful in my opinion. And here at the tail, we also have a very beautiful look with the passenger handle made of aluminum. And who is it for? Well, the FZ15 has this big, robust look, but don't be fooled. It's just a small bike, an urban motorcycle for you to ride around the city. I'll show you on the GoPro in a moment. And yes, I recommend it for beginners. You have your driver's license, so you can start with the FZ15. João, yes, you can use this motorcycle for deliveries. After all, it has the same economical and robust engine as the Crosser and the Fazer 150. And also the Factor, but with more style. So it's cool because you can work during the day with the motorcycle and also go out for a ride and sometimes show up with a lot of style. And if you're thinking about making deliveries with the FZ15, I need to warn you that it doesn't come with a USB port or a 12-volt outlet like the Crosser 150, for example. So you'll need to install an outlet on this motorcycle. It's also meant for someone who already has a bigger motorcycle for road trips or a car in the garage and is looking for a motorcycle to get around easily, quickly, and economically. Around the city, in traffic, it's very agile, perfect for riding in the city, but of course with a lot of style. And speaking of style, we have here a very beautiful headlight set. LED position light, this big headlight here. The tail light is LED, the same as the Crosser. And the turn signals, which we Brazilians know well, use conventional bulbs. Wow, Yamaha, it just never ends, huh? That stock of YBR turn signals, for God's sake, ruined the look of the motorcycle. It deserved an LED turn signal, right? It's a shame it didn't come with one. The seat is a single-piece, two-level type with a little lumbar support here for the rider, and it has very generous padding. The height from the seat to the ground is 79 centimeters. I'm 1.77 meters tall, and I can easily put both feet on the ground. But if you're unsure whether it's right for you, go to the dealership, get on it, and try it out there if it's available. Regarding this, the riding position is like a naked bike with a sporty feel. However, according to Yamaha, its foot pegs are less set back than the Fazer 150 unified braking system, which means it offers more comfort while riding. Here, regarding the handlebars, for me, they're very good, very comfortable. And to answer you here, Ismael, compared to the Fazer 150 unified braking system, it's heavier. Yes, okay? 5 kilos more. This motorcycle weighs 135 kilos. That is, considering all the fluids, including its fuel tank, which has a capacity of 11.9 liters of gasoline or ethanol in any proportion, since this engine here is flex fuel. And the engine is the renowned Yamaha 150 with 149 cubic centimeters single cylinder air cooling, which generates 12 horsepower at 7,500 revolutions per minute and 1.3 kgfm of torque at 6,000 revolutions per minute. And yes, this engine is the same one that equips the Factor 150, the Crosser 150, and also the Phaser 150 unified braking system. However, according to Yamaha, this engine has gained more air intake. There's a difference in the intake and exhaust, so it has a slightly different map. The delivery of this bike is a little more at low revs. It gives you more torque, more power, but at the top end, it's basically the same as the others. On the front suspension, we have a sturdy telescopic fork with a diameter of 40 millimeters and a travel of 130 millimeters. At the rear, a single spring offers 120 meters of travel and 7 preload adjustment levels. And to answer you here, Armando, you need a tool to make this adjustment. And it comes with disc brakes on both wheels with a diameter of 282 millimeters at the front and 220 millimeters at the rear. And it comes with an anti-lock braking system, ABS, only on the front wheel. The wheels are 17-inch alloy rims and use tubeless radial tires, and the tires also have a wider profile. The dashboard is fully digital and blackout style, but before showing it, I have a great tip for anyone with an FZ15 or any bike with a digital dashboard. Look guys, Protel's high resistance thermoplastic films, and I brought 2 versions here to show you how it looks in glossy and also matte. This tip is amazing. After all, if you love it, you take care of it. And Protel's films are made of high resistance thermoplastic, which are better than glass ones because they don't break. The film protects against damage caused by scratches, dust, sunlight, and wear over time. It doesn't come off in water and even hides any existing scratches. And if you need to remove the film, it will come off without damaging the panel or leaving any glue residue because it's electrostatic. After it's applied, it becomes unnoticeable to the touch and is fingerprint resistant. I'll leave the link here in the description so you can get the films, including with a discount. Use my coupon, which is on the screen and in the description of this video. They deliver all over the country, okay? They even have it for several motorcycle models. Take a look later, but I want to know your opinion. Which one did you like the most? The dashboard with the matte film or with the glossy film? Write it in the comments. The dashboard is fully digital. Isn't that cool? Up here we have the tachometer and speedometer. Over here on the left we have the fuel gauge and the gear indicator. In the right corner here we have the clock. To change the information on the dashboard, it's directly on the panel with this button. So here in this little corner we have the total odometer information. Then we have trip 1 and also trip 2. Those are the only pieces of information. And on the outside, we have some indicator lights, such as the ABS indicator, the neutral indicator, and also the high beam indicator. Here on the right handle, we have the engine cutoff switch and the ignition button. Regarding the levers, there is no adjustment here on the brake lever. And here on the left side, we have the horn, the turn signals, high beam and low beam, and the flasher. And the left lever also doesn't have any adjustment. I've introduced you to the Yamaha FZ15. Now it's my turn to ride it. End the video with pros and cons. Hop on my back seat. Riding around the city with the FZ15, and let's go through a little lane here on the main road. Let's go. Wow guys, that's a big lane split. FZ15 and ABS, just go. Let me make a getaway here. Oh my God, run Amanda, run. Chaos in Sao Paulo, as usual, right? And how are we? We're here on the bike testing the FZ15. In the lane is a bit crowded, and look way back there, the sky, it's going to rain soon. The potholes are pretty bad too, right? I got a bit worried. You know what happened? The FZ15's mirror sticks out a bit from the handlebars, right? So that's the problem. If you want to be more agile in traffic, it would be a good idea to change the mirror, right? That's it, guys, here with the FZ15, a great bike. So, guys, the suspension of the FZ15 really surprised me. It's very soft. Which, in theory, should be a bike with a firmer suspension in the sense of being sporty, right? After all, if you want a super comfortable bike with a tough all-terrain suspension, you go for the Crosser, right? Since they even share the same engine, but I found the bike very soft. You can sit here comfortably and relax. Of course, guys, the riding position isn't the best, like on a Crosser, for example, because you have even more comfort when it comes to the angle of your legs. However, wow, I really liked the suspension on the FZ15. It really surprised me. It really surprised me in a positive way. So for those who want a bike with a sporty look but also comfortable, wow, the FZ15 is a good option, okay? Besides being beautiful, right? Wow, I think this bike is really beautiful. Yamaha really nailed the look. It's tough to ride in this Sao Paulo lane, but you can see it. Look here. Even though the traffic is jammed here on the main road, I'm still going, right? So for you to ride here with agility, the FZ is a great motorcycle. Except for the rear view mirror, which is a little wide, right? Maybe I listed it as a negative point because it makes things a little harder for its purpose, which is urban, right? I'll think about it. Do you think I listed it as a negative point? Write it down in the comments. Anyway, guys, to drive around the city, oh my God. The engine is nice. It's smooth, beautiful, agile. Wow, look at how it changes direction. Wow, so light and agile. So I think it's a good choice for those who want to stand out. In terms of design, it's nice that it's a cheap, economical, and agile bike, right? Now here we go into the little funnel. Even when turning, this bike is really agile. All the potholes in our country are a shame. They don't make us feel safe, do they? Whoa, it brakes well too. Another cool thing is the brakes. I think its brakes work really well. For what it's meant for, right? For the engine, it's well calibrated, right? It's actually well sized. Wow, guys, in the city, the little bike is quick and handles traffic with agility and comfort, right? Surprisingly, the bike is more comfortable than I expected for a sport bike, right? For a bike that has this, it aims to be a mini naked bike. This sportier vibe, I actually found it quite comfortable, by the way. I thought it brakes well. The suspension never bottomed out at any point. The front is good too. It's well positioned. In short, it's a great bike for you to ride around the city, okay? So if you're looking for a bike with these features, this could be the option for you. But that's it. In the city, it's approved. Now let's hit the road with it to see how it performs. Will I be able to reach its top speed? Stay tuned. I'm here on the road with the FZ15. Just a reminder, right, that its purpose is urban, but I got some questions like, Amanda, how does it perform on the road? Let's go. Just remember, guys, the bike isn't broken in yet. It's got 1,400 kilometers. It's not broken in, so it won't have its full performance yet. Unlike a bike that's already broken in, all right? Yeah. I'm flooring it here, going downhill. There's a little slope here on Ayrton Senna. Yeah, she's giving me 115, 116. I don't know if I'll be able to go past that. It depends on the person's weight, right? Like I said, the engine isn't broken in yet, but that's all. But also, guys, don't expect the performance of an FZ15, right? It has a tough look, but it's a 150cc bike, okay? It really looks like a big motorcycle, but the engine doesn't work miracles, right? If you want a bigger engine, you have to go with the FZ25. There's no other way, okay? Regarding the vibration, it's a single cylinder engine, right, guys? It's going to vibrate. It's not bothering me that much. I feel it a little bit on the handlebar and a little bit on my feet, okay? But it's nothing that really bothers me. It doesn't even cover up the engine noise. It's not that loud. It doesn't seem like it'll rev that high, right? Like other small bikes, okay? But it's a single cylinder engine, so it's going to struggle a bit at the top end, all right? Regarding comfort, it has a reasonable riding position, right? It's comfortable. I won't say it's not. Since it has more of a naked bike feel, right? Even with this sporty proposal, you end up with your foot a little further back, but that's normal, right? Like I said in the introduction video, right? In his launch video. According to Yamaha, the foot peg is less set back than on the Phaser 150, right? The Phaser 150 is sportier. Look, 117.7, there you go. Downhill, tailwind. Will it hit 120? Let's test it, let's test it. Now, the little uphill, there was no way. It's a really sunny day. Today, I can see the dashboard really well. I don't know if you can get that perception on the GoPro, but I can see the dashboard very clearly. There are only 5 gears, right? That's it, guys. That's how it is on the road. Regarding fuel consumption, I saw some people on the internet saying that because it's a little heavier and has wider tires, it might consume more than others. For example, the Crosser and also the Phaser 150 unified braking system. For me, I rode both in the city and on the road, really pushing it, you know, as fast as I could, you know. Trying to reach its top speed, it did about 37 kilometers per liter, which is good. That's the average. The engine isn't broken in yet. It might get better mileage in the future. Actually, I've seen people online saying it can reach 40 kilometers per liter. Are you an owner of an FZ15 ABS? Go ahead and write in the comments what kind of mileage you get with it to help out other fellow motorcyclists. And now I'm going to talk about the positive and negative points of the FZ15 ABS. I'm not the owner of the truth. You have every right to agree, disagree, or even add to it as long as you use the comments respectfully. But you need to subscribe first, right? Brazil's most charming motorcycle channel. Beautiful, wonderful, delightful, and with the best subscribers. So, come on, be a part of the Motoplay channel. Just click down here on the red subscribe button and next to it on the bell to activate notifications. And the first positive point, right? Design. A lot of people buy this motorcycle because of its visual appeal, more for emotional reasons than rational ones. So this motorcycle really attracts attention wherever it goes. Large tank with air intakes, very beautiful. Another plus, the headlight assembly also looks great in my opinion. In line with this new look of the MT-03, the FZ250 and other Yamaha motorcycles, a more aggressive look with a big headlight, right? I think it's not only beautiful, but also brighter and safer. It saves battery, right? Compared to an incandescent bulb. Another positive thing about this motorcycle is the handling. Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to ride in the city. Very agile, really light. So that's a positive point. Ease of riding is another positive point. So if you're a beginner, you can start with it. Very easy to handle, a motorcycle with no hassles. Comfort is another plus. Not just the seat, which I thought had really good padding, but the whole setup as a whole, right? Suspension, chassis, tires. Suspension is another plus, right? It's thick. I really liked it. And another interesting thing is the tank, which is in 2 parts. So like I said, if you fall, you don't need to replace the whole tank, just the damaged part, making it more economical. And on saving money, another plus is its economy. I found its fuel consumption impressive, even with the wide tires people mention online. Some report 40 kilometers per liter, which I thought was impressive. Radial tires are another positive point, with a wider profile bringing more stability, so it's good for you to ride on the highway. The dashboard is fully digital and includes a gear indicator. That's a plus, right? Why are you upset, Titan?
The FZ15 here already brings this information. Very good. Another positive point is the brakes, right?
Besides coming with ABS on the front wheel and disc brakes on both wheels, I thought it brakes very well, so that's a positive point. And the last item, but not least, is that it comes with fixed price maintenance.
In other words, you already know the cost of the required maintenance and labor even before you buy it.
As you can see on the screen, these are the prices, and they are also available on Yamaha's website. So the cool thing is that before you buy, you can already do the math and plan ahead to see if maintaining the FZ15 fits your budget. Now I'm going to talk about its negative points. To start with, the side stand, the famous kickstand, doesn't cut the engine current. So when it's engaged, I'll show you here. Take a look. Look, it's even in second gear, see? So guys, it doesn't cut the engine's power. And what does that mean? If you don't pay attention to this when you're taking off, you might hit the curb or a rock and you could fall, right? And I don't think this fairing here is that cheap either, not to mention you risk getting hurt. So in my opinion, Yamaha made a mistake by not putting in a kickstand sensor, right?
For the side stand on the FZ15.
Another downside is that I don't recommend it for highway riding. Can you ride on the highway? Absolutely. You can even take a Flu or a Yamaha 125 scooter if you want. However, right, this motorcycle here seems like it goes slower than the FZ15 unified braking system, which has the same engine, right? It seems like the weight and the fact that the tires are wider ended up affecting its performance on the road. And answering those of you who asked me if it's good for hitting the road, I don't recommend it.
Especially with a passenger. Wow, it's already tough by yourself. Imagine with a passenger going up a really steep hill, hitting the road. So if you're looking for a motorcycle to ride on the road often, especially with a passenger, I don't recommend this bike.
Maybe it would be better for you to go, for example, with the FZ25 from Yamaha, which has a much bigger engine, a lot more horsepower, and will suit your needs.
But it's a shame, right? Because at least it could run like its other sisters out there with the 150 engine.
I couldn't hit 120 kilometers per hour. She's right. It's not broken in yet, but honestly, it was a struggle.
If you have an FZ15, have you ever hit 120 kilometers per hour?
Write it in the comments. Another negative point, in my opinion, is the turn signals. I think Yamaha focused so much on the bike's design. It could have come with a little turn signal, right? To make it much prettier. Another thing I didn't like is the fuel tank cap here. It's not in the aviator style. When refueling, you must hold it or find a place for it, but I don't recommend setting it down to avoid damaging the seat. So I think that in the future, who knows, maybe the FZ15 will come with a new fuel tank cap.
Some people on the internet said that the fuel tank, which has a capacity of 11.9 liters of gasoline or ethanol, could be a downside since it has a smaller tank than, for example, the DR160, which has a capacity of 12 liters.
And also, right, much less than the CG Titan, which has a capacity of 16 liters of gasoline. By the way, guys,
there's a full review video of the DR160, link here in the description and also in the card. And there's also a full review video of the CG Titan 160, link in the description and also in the card.
Go watch it later if you're unsure about which one to buy. Well, I don't really think that's a negative point. It could have a larger tank like the Indian FZ with 13 liters. That would be nice, right? However, even so, with 11.9 liters, it already has great range, over 400 kilometers. So I think it already has good range. Of course, if you're going to use it for work, riding around the city, you might have to stop a few times to refuel during the week, but not that often. Guys, 400 kilometers is a lot, right? But I want to know your opinion. Do you think this is a negative point or a positive one? Did we overlook any pros or cons of the FZ15 ABS?
Write it in the comments.
It comes in 3 colors with a suggested retail price starting at 17,490 Rays. So that's it. If you like the video, leave a like and share it with your friends because I'm sure they'll enjoy watching it. The most complete video about the FZ15 ABS from Yamaha. See you next time, Moto Kiss.